Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to today's episode of Talk Life with TEG. I'm back today with a topic that it's very important. It worries me. It's actually a burden that has been on my heart that really I wish there was a way to deal with it overnight, but apparently there isn't. But I know that one step at a time, one day at a time, we can get to deal with this. So today we're talking about child marriage. Yes, we're talking about child marriage. And I'm hoping I stay on track because this is a topic that really upsets me. So we'll discuss together and we'll share our thoughts on what child marriage is, what the problems are, how we can deal with it. So first of all, child marriage is basically when a child is married before age 18. Now, even though it's mostly seen among the girl child, there are still some instances where the boy child is married before 18. I think some months ago I saw the picture of a couple. Both the boy and the girl, they are teenagers, and it was really troubling. Like, I have no idea why parents would do that, but yeah. But on that note, you would agree with me that child marriage mostly affects the girl child more than it does the boy child, and it's one of the biggest challenges in West and Central Africa. It has enormous adverse effects on education, on health, and that includes sexual and reproductive health. It has enormous adverse effects on the overall development of the adolescents and youths. A study that was done in 2017 by UNICEF, that's the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, shows that 4 of 10 girls in West and Central Africa were married before they turned 18. And Nigeria, being the most populous country in the region, has the highest number of child brides at 22 million. 22 million girls were married off in this Nigeria that you and I live in before they turned 18. It's really heartbreaking, honestly. And also, research and data has also shown that poverty and living in rural areas, and dare I add, illiteracy, are more strongly associated with child marriage. And this is usually because parents are trying to reduce economic burden on their homes, trying to reduce the number of children that they have to feed and clothe and send to school. So they marry off their daughters to usually significantly older men so that they won't have to take care or feed or clothe or whatever. So why is child marriage a problem? Why is it? It's a big problem, but why? There is a story of a girl in Sokoto State called Bintu. Bintu is not her real name, but this story was shared by Nigeria Health Watch. That Bintu was married off to a 49-year-old man in Dogondaji village in Sokoto State in northern Nigeria when she was only 13. Now, Bintu said she wanted to become a medical doctor before her father decided she would get married to a man thrice her age who was a farmer. Now, the girl's dream of being a medical doctor was just killed like that. And she said her mother was completely against the marriage because herself, she was married off at that same age, at the age of 9 actually. But then Bintu got pregnant 2 months into the marriage, and the pregnancy, she said, it came with lots of complications. When it was time for her to give birth, she said she had a prolonged and obstructed labor, and she eventually lost the child, and she developed VVF, that's vesico-vaginal fistula. Even though she got treated, but unfortunately, after a couple of years, her husband died in a car accident and left her a widow at the age of 22. Now, that is really a sad story. She had to go through pregnancy at that tender age. She had to go through VVF, and now she was left a widow with 3 children at the age of 22. to figure out the rest of her life by herself. I mean, this is the age that young ladies are even getting into the marriage or picking up their career and starting to have some stability in their lives. And my young Bintu that wanted to be a medical doctor is left to juggle 3 children and probably no job, all by herself. Now, child marriage affects and violates the fundamental rights of women and girls. There's this belief that when a girl is married off early, she does not have the opportunity of becoming promiscuous. And then I'm asking, why aren't the boys married off early so that they don't become promiscuous if that is the reason for the early marriage? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. We should marry off our boys and our girls early so that they don't get or become promiscuous. Like I said, it makes absolutely no sense. And this is a result of entrenched gender inequality. There's also this belief among Muslims that it is permissible for a man to marry a child as young as 9, as long as sexual relations with her is postponed until she has attained puberty. But you would agree with me that this is usually not the case, because even when this girl is married at that age, she's usually forced to engage in sexual intercourse with her husband. And then for kids that hit puberty early, by that 10 or 11 years old, she's already pregnant and she has to deal with the complications of early pregnancy. One of which I had mentioned earlier in the story of Bintu, which is vesico-vaginal fistula. And it results from early pregnancies. The girl's body is not even ready, physically able to deliver a baby, but you have to force her to go through that. And one of the things we see with fistula is the girls not being able to control their bladder. You see, a grown-up girl, a teenager, she wets the bed when she sleeps, or even when she's awake, she's not able to control the urine, and then she's always smelly, and even that increases the chances of domestic violence, because they're now being treated like trash, like dirt, because of the health implications that comes with it. And then there's also the case of death. I mean, maternal and child death is 50% higher in mothers that are less than 20 years old. In fact, according to UNICEF, it's the death from complications of pregnancy is way higher in girls that are between 15 and 19. And that is actually the leading cause of death among girls between 15 and 19 in the developing world. That is complications from early pregnancy. And this is something we have to watch out for. We can't let our girls keep suffering like this and dying unnecessarily, because many of them will die during childbirth, and those that do not die are subjected to fistula. Just a handful of them are lucky enough to have a free and safe delivery and all of that, and it's a problem. And then these girls eventually end up having no future. Just a few of them that maybe grow and take on themselves and work at building something for themselves. So these girls are often withdrawn from schools so that they can get married to older men, and it's really painful. So how can we deal with this? There's a lot of problems that are associated with child marriage, and we need to deal with it. The first point is advocacy. Speak up wherever you are. Speak up. It's a crime. It's a violation of fundamental human rights. Speak about it. Don't just keep quiet. Maybe because it's your culture, your people do it, or your religion they do it. Whatever it is, you know this is not right. Please don't keep quiet about it. And I'm glad that I found out that the Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Nigeria are actually on the forefront of this advocacy. They've pointed out that child marriage is a problem and is the main producer of ignorance in our society. So they go about to several communities to sensitize women and girls about child marriage, to enroll them in schools, building classrooms and all of that for them, which is very good. So as in the little way that you can, speak up for this issue and create change in your environment as much as you can. Put it up on social media, talk about it. If you are in a place where this thing is practiced, don't be afraid to speak up. Then another way we can deal with this is educating our girls, making sure that they stay in school at least until they are up to 18. Let them not be kept away from school because, well, you are going to marry them off to some rich man or sometimes not even rich, just somebody that will take basic care of the family needs. And because the families are looking up to the dowry or the bride price that will paid on these girls' head, they just give off their children to be married off. And skill acquisition and income generating activities is also very good because, like I said, poverty is one of the reasons. So if these girls and their families have things that they are doing that are generating income, the likelihood of giving up a kid to be married will be reduced. So we have organizations and the churches and the mosques and the religious organizations and communities and the societies can help in teaching skills and income generating activities to these girls and their families, so that when you are making money to take care of yourself and your family, you are able to actually take care of them and not marry them off just because you are not able to take care of them. Then social and cultural norms need to be changed. And how would they be changed? Through advocacy, legal reforms, and policy actions. And legal reforms, very important. The Child Rights Act of 2003, also that the name was changed to the Child Right Protection Law. It sets the minimum age of marriage at 18 years. But sadly, 10 Nigerian states are yet to pass that law in their states, and these are states in the northwest and the northeast. These are things that need to be dealt with. If these states can get to pass this law to pass it and let everybody abide by it, then you see that these things, that the prevalence will really reduce. You have to support the married adolescents. They've already been married off. What can you do? What we can do is to support them with life-changing opportunities, teach them skills that will help them to actually make money to be able to take care of themselves, and teach them that they have access to health services. Bring these health services closer to home. The primary healthcare system, and many of them don't even know that they have access to these health services, especially when they have problems. We educate these young girls and let them know what their rights are, let them know what they have accessible to them in taking care of them. But we must continue to do what we can to protect the girl child and her dreams, protect her rights, and empower her for a brighter future. The number is worrisome. It's been declining over the last decade, but the rate of decline is really, really small. It's really, really small. We need to do more. We need to do better to end child marriage, especially in our country. I don't know how our future looks with uneducated and powerless women. It's not a bright future if you ask me. So guys, wherever you are, do the little that you can. Speak up. Don't keep quiet about it. Learn about these things. Read up articles about it. See where and how it's affecting the people around you or your community, and find out how you can help. So yes, that's the end of what I have to say today. I don't want to talk so much about this, but I hope that we get the gist and that we are encouraged to do better and to do more. So till next week, sit tight, stay safe, and stay healthy. Bye guys.